Let's talk about conformity today. Haven't you noticed that our entire society, everyone around you, is engaged in conformity, groupthink, and ideology? Haven't you noticed that nobody's actually thinking critically, independently of their own, outside of their own culture? Everybody's thinking inside of the culture that they were brought up in, or the culture that they chose. Isn't it interesting? Look at the politics that we have today. We can't even decide what is true anymore. We have so much misinformation, it's crazy. People wonder why there's such a suppression of free speech nowadays. And maybe it's because a lot of the free speech that's going around here is contained with so much misinformation. I mean, don't we have a duty to at least protect the public from misinformation? Because if nobody's actually critically thinking, and if nobody's doing the independent research to verify things, can you imagine the emotional, mental labor it takes that it would take for you to actually do your own double-blind research studies on whether your water was safe or whether what happened on the news was actually legit, not some AI deep fake? I mean, we're going to get to the point where we don't even know what's true on the news anymore, whether that's CNN, Fox News. Like, even if you read your local newspaper, you won't even know what's true anymore, because how do you know that the newspaper that's delivered on your doorstep is not just some fake newspaper that somebody's trying to gaslight you with? And how do you know that what you see on the news, on the TV, is actually what's true? Or even on YouTube, on TikTok. I could just be an AI deepfake right now. This could be totally AI. You wouldn't even know it at some point. And someday we're going to trust AI so much that we don't even trust our own thinking anymore. So it's a serious issue that I think we're not acknowledging as much. And even those of you who say that you're skeptical, rational, and even atheistic, scientific, you're also engaging in conformity too. Maybe not as much as the religious person, but you're still engaging in a form of groupthink. Your atheism and scientism, that's a groupthink. Think about that. I mean, have you ever wondered why Western science should be more valuable than Eastern science? Do you think that science is the same across cultures, or do you think each culture has their own way of doing science, and which one's more valid? Even atheism has its own groupthink in the demand of proof and evidence for God. When instead of asking for proof and evidence of God, maybe you should ask what proof actually is, what you're actually asking for. Because proof is not just something you find out in the world. Proof is just whatever convinces you of something. A Christian thinks that the Bible is proof of God, whereas an atheist doesn't believe that. So they don't think that's proof of God. So we all disagree on what's proof. Doesn't mean that proof doesn't exist. It just means that proof is a relative notion. But proof is also impossible, because proof, you're only going to be convinced of whatever you already believe. It's motivated reasoning. It's backwards rationalization. Because if you really don't want to believe in God, you could find any reason to doubt anything, even if God stood before you. In the same way that if you're a conservative and really want to doubt what Trump is doing, you could find all the reason in the world to doubt. You could always just be skeptical of, like, oh yeah, CNN is bullcrap, or oh yeah, everything that's fed me on my echo chamber and Fox News is all correct. All that stuff. You can, if you really want to believe in something, if you really want to believe that the LGBTQ are evil, you can find that information out online, and you could ignore all the proof and evidence against that. So you really, as a scientist, as a scientific and atheistically minded person, you're not questioning deeply what proof is, because people delude themselves all the time on these things. So what's the whole point of this video? The whole point of this video is for us to think critically on these topics, for us to question this stuff, and to engage in deep critical thought. And we only can do that by taking this problem of groupthink seriously, because you don't have to identify yourself as a Buddhist, an atheist, a conservative, a liberal, The only reason why you identify as these things is because they're an attachment.